Alright, we're in there again. Greeting everyone. I got my list this morning. Got a number of things to do on it. She only got like one thing checked off, so just bear with me. Let me let out the K9. Okay, it ain't no particular order I'm gonna go on here, but I just got a number of things I got to do. Cycler setup, that's one of the first things I like to get started on. So go ahead on and start it up. As you know, the first thing you want to do is open the door on the cycler. Just bring the handle up, open it. Now switch back here. The door is open. Switch back there, cut that on. Okay, panel light up. And okay, go ahead and get me some gloves. You're gonna have two gold bars light up here on the top, right up here on the top of the cycle when it comes on. Just remember to always open the door first and then cut the light on. I'm gonna go ahead and get the cartridge ready so we can get it inserted so it can start priming, and that's gonna take about 23 minutes once I get that cartridge in the saline installed. I'll talk you through that process as well. Charlie Alpha Romeo 172 Charlie cartridge. That's all it is. Open it up. Got a little indentation. You probably can see it a little bit where the cut line. Cut the cartridge out. You're gonna need this bag, so hold on to it. Got a number of tubes. You want to remove your paper tabs. Okay. Yeah, that's why you need that bag too. You're gonna put some paper tabs and all the rest of the residue in there. I just hook this on the arm right here. Okay. We got a little tray here as well. You need to remove. Okay, take that off. Okay, just maintain positive control of your tubes. Okay, remove that last tab there. And you're gonna put it in upright with the smiley face upright. You probably can see that smiley face. Put it right down in the cycle. So it's all the way open. You've got 3 pressure valves right here. You want to put those tubes in the pressure valves lined up. Make sure you got those in those pressure valves firm. Got one on the left right here, 2 on the right. One at the top, one at the bottom. Go ahead and close up the cycler, making sure it's free of no your tubes, anything. Make sure nothing caught in it. Close it up. And go ahead and connect your pod, connect your pod. Right here. It's coming off. Go ahead on and inspect your saline line. Maintain positive control of that as well. Okay, and you'll find your female to female adapter on one of the tubes as well, so you want to remove that. Okay, just set that to the side. Okay. Okay, once you remove that peanut or that female to female adapter, just go ahead on and inspect your Venus line and remove that safety tab, and the same with your arterial line. Inspect it and remove that safety tab and make sure that it's tight as well. Okay, and just set that to the side for right now. You'll need some saline. So I'm gonna get a bag of saline right now. Get your saline. I always try to keep everything in close proximity the way you're working it, so you can have easy access. Go ahead and open that up. Make sure that it's not leaking nowhere on the top or the bottom, and check your lot number and your expiration date, and this one's good. So let's go ahead and remove the safety plastic tab. Set that there. That's going to go in disposal as well. Then you want to just remove, keeping your hands off of the sanitized portion of the saline tip, and insert it in the saline bag without puncturing a hole in the saline bag. So be careful when you're inserting the saline connector. I just gently put a hole in it to get it started, kind of wiggle it in straight as you can on a level foundation. Okay. Right, then I got that in there good, nice and firm and tight. Okay, I'll just go ahead and hang that on that saline bag holder. If I can get it on there. There you go. Set that peanut on it as well. And at this time, I'm ready to go ahead and start that 23-minute process. You hit that fluid button. That time you'll see your fluid going through the lines, priming the saline through the tray or the cartridge over to the dialyzer and throughout the system. Okay, so that will be taking place for the next 23 minutes. So just bear with me that, and I got several other things. Like I said, I got that list. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and start setting up the treatment tape. Okay, we'll need a sanitized pad. Okay, and under that I normally put a 2x2, which I keep handy, as you can see up here. Set it there. And then I'll get me 6 of these gauze. Get 6 of those. separate them. They got a little division in them. You can see them. You can kind of divide them and make it easy where you can take them apart. So I take 6 of them. Take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's for sealing up the or covering up the arteria and the venous during the treatment process. Everybody know that that's doing this, but for those that don't, that's the purpose for them. You want to have them ready, available, so that you won't have to look for them when it's time to do that particular part when in the treatment. And I just set the extra ones up here. Then I'll cover it with the sanitary towel. Okay. Put the arm pad up. Bring that up and just lock that. Just have locks on the bottom. Lock that. Move my treatment chair out of the way. Okay, we're gonna need tape. We're gonna need tape. I'm gonna go ahead and start tearing a couple of pieces off too. I usually tear off like 4 of them to start out with, about 3 inches long, about 4 of those, about 3 inches, and I just hold them up here. I'm gonna need those. Might as well get it once I touch that tape. Go ahead and try to get it prepared, pre-positioned, so to speak, and ready, so that when it's time to put it on that that arteria and venous, it'll be ready to go help with the gauze as well. It's just, having things ready prior to the treatment, that's all. And that's good when you can use just 23 minutes that cycler takes to go through the priming process. You got like that 4 pieces there. You still want to keep it off to the side. And I also have the 1 inch, and I usually tear off about 4 of those 3-inch pieces and kind of take those here for emergency purposes and kind of bend it at the end and make it easier for when you go to, it's kind of user friendly, but it's kind of make it easier for when you go to pull it off. You can have it, it's easier to just pull it off like that and have the end that won't be stuck to itself. It's just nothing but tape, so. About 4 of those, about 3.5 inches. Let's take them and hold it on here where it's sticking out place. Okay, let's keep that tape to the side. Then you need the accept. Okay, you want to make sure you check that expiration date on that accept too. It got that expiration date up there. You want to check that. And I usually put the date I open it so I have an idea how long it'll last. So. Set that on that tape. And I have some $1.25 tree tape that I use. I like the sparkling type. Lavender. I just use that to take that bag on the side. Put it on there. It's really sticky, so sticks real good on the side of here. Set it on here. Just kind of like put it underneath here. And watch out for your gauze if you decide to do it this way. Okay. And it just hang there, nice and secure. Nice and secure. Put all the trash, main residue that I took off the cartridge and everything else in that bag. Don't hesitate to put any other trash or paper towels that you have in the area. So let me go ahead and get the rest of the items, needles, tourniquet, gloves, and we use the 16 gauge buttonhole for the fish. We got the fistula. Turn. Heifer. And I keep like 3mm syringes and like 2mm, not 2mm, but 10mm. You're gonna need at least two of those at a minimum to draw back about 9ml of saline for flushing the lines back. Coming up on 15 minutes on the cycle. Alright, let me see if I can check out one or two things right quick. We got the cycle, I know. Table, no labs, gotta collect the lines, gotta do the tap and snap it. Sanitize, update says, nurse, restock supplies. Shipment, nope, no shipment today. And I've already checked the chlorine in here. That's already been checked. And the lights have already been cut off from, so this is ready to be, this chicken foot is ready to be connected when it's time as well. So it's all primed up and ready to go. Alright, and I'll hook that up and talk you through the process when it's time. Okay, when you finish setting up that table, I got one or two more things to put on it. Use another 2x2 from up here. Another 4x4. This one needs to be cut. Recut some. These scissors stand by. Let's try to improvise and not use as much if I don't have to. That way when I saturate this 4x4 with the septic, except I can help with the 2x2 to help dry it up, so it helps the process. And I also keep a little small towel around to help with doing the tapping when I tap the dialyzer. So you'll see that. I mean, it helps me out with that, and when I prime the lines, like on the T connector and on the chicken foot for the dolly 6, but that's already been done. off some, cover some things up. And by the way, don't forget your alcohol pads. I usually keep a few available here and there, but I have like 1 or 2 here and there, but I keep some ready available because you never know when you might need something. That's the same thing with some saline I need to get. Be right back. Three more bags of saline here. Try to keep mostly everything in here, but I can't keep everything here, especially something like that, because those are kind of muddy. As you can see, got this side spoon. Coming up on 9 minutes on that on the cycle here. Change those, get ready for the tap and snap. stock a few things over here, not that many. Set these 10 and 3 milliliters over here. I'm right up on 3 minutes or 4 minutes. It jumped from 3 back to 4. That's part of the system check. It does what it's required to do. So I go wait for it to go through the motions. A few extra 10 milliliters. They come in like sections of 5, depending on what type, what brand you order, what type you order. Keep a couple of extra ones over here and some over here as well in the major supply area. I'm going to go ahead on and test that blood detector along on the side of the cycler here. I'll get it momentarily. I'll get these mitts on. Okay. It's going to start crying momentarily as well because it's coming up on about 2 minutes, so it shouldn't take long to check that. Like I said, the detector, it's not right here. That's for testing the chlorine. I already did that as well. It's just ready for the next time. I have a small bottle of water here, and the detector is here, right on the side of the cycle, sitting on the side right here. See, detector detects the fluid, if you have any fluid leaks on the cycler when it's going through treatment, and it requires a battery, a 9-volt battery. I'm not going to take it out. You see it. You just slide that little jewel back up in here if I can get it on the angle, and it's in there. And you just take, I just keep, because you don't need a lot of water, so I just keep these little handy dandy bottle of water handy, and get a little small piece of towel or gauze and just wet a portion of it. And just seal that bottle back up. Just run it across this bar, this metal bar on the back of it, and it will activate. What happen if it's sitting in the cradle on the cycler and it leaks and it gets to the bottom and it touches that, it'll let you know that something's going on and it requires your attention. So you're required to test this before each treatment. That way you know that battery is good. And we'll just set that back there. Okay. We have all 8s on the screen, as you can see. And you hit the yellow mute button, and you have another system check which will give you your numbers and your letters. Okay, you got the 1, 2, 3, 4, and A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and then 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then you want to hit that yellow button again to stop it from winding and mute. Okay, and you'll get 23.0, and at that time, then you can start the snap and tap. Yeah, snap and tap. So we're gonna start that now. Okay, and we'll start with arterial line. Okay, and just kind of like snap it like this. Okay, take it down to the T-connect and snap. You're just snapping each one of the lines, the arterial and the veins, to make sure you get the air out the line. Okay, snap it all the way down to the point of the iPod by the connected to the cycle. And make sure that iPod is pulsating at least the size of a dime. At least the size of a dime. And it's pulsating. Okay. And you follow it over the tray and remove your dialyzer. Okay, you have a piece of tape tie down to the top and one at the bottom. Just remove those. Once you remove those, you can see, yeah. Once you remove those, you'll have access to your dialyzer. And just remove it from the tray and remove the paper tags. Okay, you got like three or four of them. Just remove those from the tubes. Put those in that same bag. Okay. Now you want to go ahead on and have access to your dialyzer, and that's when I use this towel to just kind of like tap this on here, up right side up, about 10 times. Okay, then just place it back in the holder. Okay. Then you go back over to and check the venous line. Okay, and you start it from the point of the saline bag and start snapping it. You keep it because you want to clear the air from both lines, air off the arterial and from the venous. That's the purpose for it. Just so you won't avoid you getting any errors. Once you snap the blue venous, then you go back to the red arterial and repeat the process. So we'll snap this once again. Go over to the dialyzer. This time, when you tap the dialyzer 10 times, place it back in the holder and drain or flush your line, prime your line, and clamp your blue clamp on your dialyzer. I think you can see it, so just go ahead and prime it, and I use that towel for that as well. Prime it a little and lock that clamp. Additionally, with your, let me turn this over here a little bit where you can see. With the 172 Charlie, you have the additional clamp on the back. And I want you to see that here. You have an additional intravenous point. And it has a white clamp on it that requires you to clamp it as well. So if you have the 172 Charlie and you don't use this port, you need to make sure that you have this port closed as well. So we'll just go ahead and lock that clamp and set it back in the dialyzer holder. Upright. Okay. So I share that little bit of extra information with you. Okay. Okay, now we need to go back to the blue cable and just snap that arterial, that venous one more time. We just snap that one last time. Okay. Right, once we've done that, I normally bring my clamps down so they'll be out of the way, because I'm going to be making a connection with the female to female adopt in a minute. So I just bring those lines down out of the way. Okay. And they're open right now, but I'm going to close them once I make the connection. Okay. Once that's done, for the last process of checking that Venus line, is you go ahead and hit stop. And that time you bring your prescription up for what you require as far as how the numbers will run as far as adjusting prior to treatment starting. So now I'll just go ahead and start making the connections, and I'll start with the T connection on the Venus line. That's the red line. Okay. Get that red line. Okay. Okay. Go ahead and close that line off. No, don't close that line off. Go ahead on and open that T connector, because you want to let a little saline out, a little bit of the fluid out, so that you can check, prime that. Okay, so we go ahead on and let a little bit of that out and prime it. Okay, tighten it back up. And I use that same towel for that. Just make sure it's on there even and tight, because you don't want no leaks on this, because you're going to need this, because it's going to be a connector for your saline for emergencies during treatment. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and then lock that clamp. Okay. Okay. Then we'll go ahead and go to the dialysis and saline line. Okay, that's the green and white line right here. And we'll take and lock that green clamp, and we lock that white clamp. Okay. Then we'll take that green clamp, and I normally carefully, because this is a sanitized line, carefully set it here off to the side where it be secured until I have time to connect it to the dialysate tub. Okay. Then you take your line for the saline and connect it to the T connector. Okay. Making sure you remove that cap first, and that line is still clamped, so make sure you keep a positive control of that secondary saline line. Make that connection. Okay. And this line need to be accessible for when it's time to administer any saline. Okay. Then we'll take the dialysate line. We want to secure the, just have this line available for the saline, but we're going to secure it once we connect the arteria. Okay, but you want to connect this to the chicken foot. Okay, still have positive control of that. Okay, you get your chicken foot. You've already identified a connection. Secondary clamp is closed, so hopefully we can open up. Let me set this back here again temporarily. It's always secure. And make sure I can get this off. Okay, remove that cap. Okay, no leaks. We'll make that connection with that line. It's a good connection. We'll open that small green line, and then we'll open that temporary green line. Okay, and make sure that line is not crimped. Sometimes those clamps will crimp those lines and they'll have poor circulation. You don't want that. You want good flow throughout all of your tubes. Okay, you see the dialysate moving up and down. It's ready to be administered once the treatment starts. Okay, so that connection is made. Now I'm going to make the connections. Don't forget to throw away that little tab. Okay. Now I make your arteria connection and draw back that saline we spoke about. Got one 10 milliliter. Throw that trash away. Okay, lock that clamp coming from the saline bag, that red clamp, lock it. Make sure your red clamp on the arterial line is locked. Then remove that line. Okay, you'll connect that line to the female adapter. Okay, either end. Connect that on there. Okay, peanut. And I'll just hang that off to the side. I'm gonna connect the Venus on there momentarily. Okay, and I'll connect this line to the Venus with a 10 milliliters. And pull that back while I connect it as well, the 9 milliliters. Take the clamp loose, the red clamp, just unlock it. Pull back about 9. And lock that clamp. Okay, and then repeat the same thing on the Venus. Lock that top. Okay. Go ahead and lock the bottom. Remove it. Okay. Female to female adapter. Peanut. Connect it. And we just secure it on the saline stand. Okay. Last but not least, you got to draw. Well, actually, you got to draw the saline for the Venus. Take that on the last 10 milliliter needle. Open it up. Maintain positive control of that. Start that trash. Connect it to that Venus port on the saline bags. Unlock the blue clamp. Pull back about 9 units or 9 milliliters. Lock that clamp. Okay, and you got your two 10 milliliter flush back syringes. Now I'm going to go ahead and close off this yellow clamp, which is connected to the drain line. The lower yellow clamp for the drain line, lock it, disconnect it. Okay, follow it around because I'm going to take it down to the dialysate tube. Okay, so you want to have a steady flow in your tube, so you don't want to crimped. Connect this to your, drain line. See it right here. It's yellow. They color coded, okay? So you connect that. Make that connection. Okay. Make sure both of those clamps open. As a matter of fact, make sure all those clamps open that while you're down there at that time. The blue ones, yellow, orange, green. Okay, everything open. Okay, except for the white ones. Okay, and the red and the blue, they all closed. Okay, so everything is set up. You ready? Only thing we need to do now is check some of this stuff off this list. Okay. All right, table, no labs today. Did the tap and snap. Sanitize area. Oh no, I gotta update the one last thing. That's why I make this list, because I have a tablet that I have to get started. Turn it on. Yeah, tablet right here. So, yeah, it's the most important, one of the most important parts. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on. Got a little switch here at the top. Just hold down on it. I charge it up and then I turn it off. And when it's time to use it, I'll go and turn it back on if I can get it on. Switch right here. Little apple normally come up. That's peculiar. Oh, there it is. Yeah. It usually be at 100%. One time when I did cut it off though, and I went and looked at it, it went down. So I thought I didn't use it, but it's still, the power still went down. So you got to cut it off. See, it's at 100%. You usually put the passcode in there, and I got it. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this up. All right. Okay, and it'll open up to take you to the screen right with that icon. You want to hit on the icon with the N and the little X. Oops, I hit the wrong thing. Most computers you just slide up on. Tap on the top button, see what happens. Okay. I gotta go back in, see what happens. But I still know the code, so ain't no problem. Okay, I hit on settings. Just hit the N, this one here, the small N and the little X. And then it'll bring you up to another screen for N, say next to me. And they got a username and a password. And I know that too, so I'm gonna put that in. Oh, let's put it on. Oh, I see. You gotta put it in exact. I won't. All right, there you go. And then it'll come up and it'll tell you, all right, and you say a new treatment, and you say yeah, and it'll bring you this screen right here, and then you go down, you got several things you need to check. Okay, you got the cartridge type, cartridge lot, pack, sack, lot number, and the sack use, chlorine. I need to check that because I only use one sack, so I'll just curse that down, make that one, save it. And on the chlorine, I tested it, said yes, that's lit up, and then we go down and several other checks for the pre-treatment. You got pre-treatment, monitor the treatment, post-treatment, and then you got to confirm this. They have a worksheet that they use manually when you're in training, and if you complete your training successfully, you will receive a certificate of completion, and it will also they'll provide you with one of these tablets as well. So if you decide that maybe doing the hemo home dialysis is something that you're interested in and want to do, then you know these are one of the accessories that comes with the NxStage system. So, and I'm sure there's probably others out there. Okay. Thank you for watching this video, and if you like it, just hit like at the bottom, and have a blessed rest of your day. Thank you. Bye. Bye-bye.